about. We're just gonna wing this bad boy. Thank you. Are we live? Where are we?
Oh, there we are.
Oh, there we are.
That is
Drew, it's Andrew.
Oh.
I'm back.
He's here.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is Wednesday, right? Yeah, Real Estate 101. My
You've
days
had so much going on, you're just not sure.
I know, my days are a little mixed up right now, but happy Wednesday, everybody. It's 1 o'clock, so y'all know what time it is. It's time for Real Estate 101
Yes, and
with the host. I'm sorry, I'm the co-host. With the main host, Shawan.
no, you're the
Weathers.
main host.
No.
You even came in today.
I know
Left
I had
that little
to.
baby and came up here to do 101.
Yeah.
What a guy. What a guy.
Yeah, baby's out in the truck. She's waiting on me. I just stopped in to do the show. But thank y'all for tuning in. If you could, please like and share the stream. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, so who are we going to give our shout out to today?
You know, I want to give a special shout out to really the whole office. Y'all really took care of me, especially when I was in the hospital and everything. But Josh Harrell, thank you so much. You helped me out a lot. Wrote up a deal for me while I was in the hospial. So thank you, sir. You did a great job.
Thank you,
Doing
Josh.
great.
Thank
guys.
you, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
Hayden as well. Hayden met with a couple of my clients. Did a great job. But everybody else, thank y'all. Thank y'all for all the. Tommy as well. Tommy, I feel honored that Tommy got involved in one of my deals, which, you know, I was wondering if he's going to be a little rusty or not, but.
Well, you know what though, that's part of being on a team, a real
Yes,
team, a
absolutely.
true team that, you know, we're here to help each other out, you know, and lift each other up when we need lifting up, or just, you know, making sure things get done. And so
Absolutely.
that's what's being on this team is like.
Absolutely. We're all very blessed to have each other, and I'm very blessed to have y'all. So just want to say thank y'all so much. Y'all really made things easy. I appreciate all the kind words, the gifts, everything. Y'all are great. Thanks, team.
You're welcome.
We're here for you, buddy.
Well, guys, we have a huge studio audience today, so Weatherman's even standing. We standing room only today. So we thank everybody for being here with us today. Andrew, what are we going to talk about?
Well, you know, one thing that came to mind whenever we're trying to pick a topic, you know, especially for kind of how I've been gone lately, was really how to stay structured in an unstructured profession. So, you know, real estate's kind of, you know, a lot of people see it as, oh, you make your own schedule, you do this, you know. But I feel like you got to have some boundaries. You got to set some boundaries for yourself, and you got to put a lot of structure in, especially if you want to be good, you want to do deals. So really, this is what came to mind because, you know, I was out for a little bit, you know, having a kid and everything. So I don't know. I felt like this was a good topic today.
Yeah. Well, definitely, I think you have to be disciplined when you get any time that you're self-employed. You know, I think you have to be disciplined in, you know, when you start, you know, kind of how many days you're going to work.
Absolutely.
But so many people get into this profession thinking that, it's going to be flexible. I'm going to be able to go here. I'm going to be able to get the kids and do all this. But that's really not the case.
I got a question.
What's up?
How long do you think this dude should take off just because his wife had a kid? I know Samantha's watching.
Samantha's on here.
How long should he get off?
I mean, I said the day after.
Day.
One day.
I don't know. I say at least 4 weeks.
A man?
See, I
Hey,
feel like
it is hard for her. She can figure it all out. When we are going through all these emotions.
We are
Do you know what our
like-
hormones were
He
like
can't
after having a
come in
baby?
and go back. He's
Yeah.
getting soft. How long, Josh?
The day of.
The day of.
There you
As a matter of fact, dude, today you can have this shit virtual.
You
could have
FaceTime.
That's right. That's right.
Zoom.
Hey, congratulations. We're glad you're back.
Thank you. Yeah, so hey, y'all in the comments, leave how long you think a man, not just saying me, I know how long I'm gonna stay out, which I'm already back, so yeah. A lot of y'all lost money betting on me I'll be here next week, but hey, I'm here on Wednesday. I said Wednesday
Was
from
a
the
bet? I missed out
start.
on a bet. I wasn't on that one.
Dang.
Well, I think it's important that you at least have a week. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a week is nothing, really. Because like Ashley was saying, when when you've kind of got, that's your support system, you know, husband, wife, whatever. When they go back and you're like all day, been up all night,
Yep.
you know, gonna take care of it's hard.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
hard. It is very hard. But it's also good time though for you and Samantha and the baby to be together. It's just a good time for bonding, that whole
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah. Well, even Samantha, like we were talking last night, like we had to get. She's out of the house today, so she's driving around with her mom. They're going to see some people so they can wave to Avery through the window. But you know, my structure was I was going to take a couple days, which you know we stayed in the hospital a day longer than what we thought due to some things. But you know, I got out and I was planning on coming back on Wednesday, which you know I'm here. I had a walkthrough this morning, so had to take care of that. So you know, I set up my structure to kind of you know I have some closings this week, so I had to set it up around that. And you know, me and Samantha talked about that, and she was okay with it. So you know, if she wasn't gonna be comfortable with it, then I definitely wouldn't be here. 'Cause-
Yeah. Well, both of you guys are busybodies, so it was
Mm-hmm.
you know, and both of you guys, you know, work all the time, so you know, after you've been cooped up for a while, you do
Absolutely.
get the cabin fever and have to get
Yeah.
out a little bit and do something.
Especially being in that hospital for 3 days, that's rough.
You're about to jump on the scoreboard, we're about to enter you in. Number 3.
Thank you.
That's gonna make it take off.
But
2 weeks, hell.
they're talking about my time off.
Hey, here's a question.
What
How long
question?
would I be out if I had a kid?
Tommy asked how long he would be out if he had a kid, and I would say, you know, as soon as little GTT came out, he would, you know, say hello. Then he'd probably be back in here and be on all our asses.
I feel like he'd be running, he'd be late to the birth.
Hey, Danny
Hey, son or
Ward,
daughter, it was
Yeah,
good to see you.
Danny Ward commented and said, "You do whatever keeps mommy happy, of course. Happy wife, happy life."
Danny Ward, you're a smart man.
A broke-ass wife ain't gonna be happy.
Yeah, that's Tommy said a broke ass wife ain't gonna be happy.
The office is up into a high little bedroom.
Dude, yeah, I'll bring the little swing in here and I'll put her in my
No, I don't want
office.
y'all moving in. Hell, if you take.
Samantha would love that.
Yeah. Yeah, she
But-
would love that. So back to what we were talking about, finding structure. I mean, and now that you've been off, you know, maternity leave and coming back, and you know, how are you going to find structure if you take, even if you take the rest this week? There's got to be some type of structure for the things you know that you've already got
Yeah.
on paper and trying to get on paper, keeping all that moving. There's
Yeah.
still got to be some type of structure.
Absolutely. So, you know, really before I got into real estate, I was so used to, you know, I was working for the man, I guess, you know, working for someone else. So, you know, we always had a set schedule. You get here at 7, you know, you usually got I was in heat and air, so you get your first call at 8, you got to be there by 8, but we need you in the office at 7. And then, you know, we're working till 5 every day. Sometimes you go over and you're not happy about it, but, you know, so really coming into this, I was so used to a set schedule, and really, I'm a set schedule type of guy. Like, if you tell me free reign to do whatever, I ain't gonna do shit. I'm gonna sit at home and play Xbox.
Yeah, well, you
But-
know, I think all of us do better when there's a structure
Absolutely.
around us. I mean, I think everybody needs that day to just to, you know, get up when you want to, you know, kind of have that one day. But I think for the most part, structure is good. I think knowing, you know, that you're going to be at the office at a certain time, you're
Yep.
going to, you know, you're doing this for a certain time while you're in the office, then you move on to this, you know, so, but trying to set up a schedule
Yes.
in this business is hard.
Because you have so many things that bounce around, and you know some appointments can fall through. This can happen. So you know, real estate kind of made me. And I'm not the type of guy that has a planner, which I'm getting better about it, especially in our CRM, because we have a calendar in there that we have to update. So you know, I'm shout out Lorima. So yeah, I'm getting a lot better about getting on my phone, seeing what I got planned for the day, who I need to follow up with, what appointments I have, and I've never been that guy. But I feel like you definitely need to have something in place to where you're writing everything down, you're keeping up with all your appointments, You know, just so you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's always good to go into a game with a game plan. And I think of every day as a game. You know, you always have something to do, especially in real estate. You either need to be prospecting, you'd be meeting people face to face, calling people. There's always a game plan you need to have.
Always, always. So I definitely think when you get into this business and trying to set some type of structure up is every day be in the office at a certain time,
Yeah.
you know, get things done, you know, make a
Absolutely.
time. Like I know when all you guys get in here after morning grind and all that, then immediately you guys start training and doing some things. And how long does that? Usually about 30 minutes to an hour?
Probably
Right
about
around there.
2 hours, I'd say. We have a very, very military-esque schedule around here.
Yeah.
So we have, you know, we got the grind in the morning. We usually aren't able to hop on, you know, and of course we can always deviate from it, but we try and stick to be done around 10:30ish, I would say, to be able to start on our day. But we all come in here knowing that we gotta do the morning grind, then we gotta do role play. Then we got to go in. Tommy usually does some teaching around then. Then we have Larima's time at 9 and 9:30, and you know we usually go from there.
Yeah, yeah.
Reba beats us with a stick.
Yeah, Hayden.
Well, you know, when I first got into this business, I went to this big broker's open house, and I had an agent ask me, what was my cutoff time? Had I figured out when to cut it off? And I think about that a lot because at that time I kind of probably looked at him kind of weird and been like, "Do you cut off?" 'Cause I don't
What are you
think
talking about?
I don't think I cut off. But even with that, there does have to be a point or a time that you know you can shut it down because
Yeah.
this is. I mean, it's when you get very busy and you've got a lot going on. It can. I mean, it's that type of thing wakes you up in the middle of the night and you. Laying there thinking about all the things you got to do the next day or what you
Absolutely.
should have done that day or something.
It can be
you know.
very overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be.
Give you
so
the
I
sweats.
Give you the sweats.
I think if you don't have some type of structure, it makes it really hard.
Absolutely.
It makes it really, really hard.
Now, do you believe that, especially and I'm talking about real estate. So when some people come into real estate, do you feel like they don't last long because they don't have that structure? You know, they're thinking they're on their own schedule. Do you feel like that's
I
why
think
a
it
lot
could be
of
some of the reason. I think a lot because, like I said, I think some folks get into this business thinking that there might be, you know, this is going to be a great job to be flexible, you know, to pick up the kids, go do this, go do that. No, it's go do real estate. Is what you're going to go do.
If you wanna make money.
If
Yeah.
you want to make money and you want to be successful, that's what you go do.
Yeah.
You go pick up real estate. You go do real estate. So I think some folks have the expectation that it's going to be a real laid back, easy going kind of
yeah.
job, but and I think if you go in it looking at it that way, you know, I think there's so many reasons why a lot of folks don't stick in it for the long haul starting off, and sometimes it's because they try to maybe go out on their own, or they do go to a company somewhere, but I mean there's no team atmosphere, there's nobody showing you, teaching you, telling you how to create a business, how to make a business, how to prospect, how to do things. So
There's not
you
a
know,
Tommy.
yeah,
Not
there's
a
not a
GTT.
Tommy in the office. So, you know, I think at that point then, you know, I definitely think that, you know, just out of spinning your wheels and not going anywhere, you end up quitting
Absolutely.
too.
And that's why I feel like we have so many people coming in and leaving real estate daily. But I don't know. I love having a schedule now because, like I said, you don't have to sell anything if you're a real estate agent. You can just have the title. But
Right.
you know.
Right.
But you know, if you do want to sell stuff and you want to be a good agent and stay on top of things, and I highly recommend having a set schedule because you know things get out of hand quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, so many things can go wrong right at the end, or I mean, you know, inspections come up or appraisals or whatever. I mean, it can be one of those things you've got to drop what you're doing right then and just handle it, take care of
Absolutely.
it, no
And-
matter how important the thing you're doing is.
Yep.
You know, if it's you went out to eat, you know, you're sitting in the restaurant, you get the phone call, You got to handle it right then.
Hey, whenever
You know?
whenever Zillow calls, you can ask
Yeah.
Weatherman. Weatherman's the one who told me, he's like, I don't care if you're out having date night, if you're at the alley and someone calls you and
Don't
it's
even matter
9
if you're having a
o'clock.
baby.
He said, you take that call and you go outside. He was
2
like, that's
o'clock in the morning,
he
1
said-
o'clock in the morning.
and that's Weatherman and Tommy and Schwan, everybody in here. They really, whenever I first came in, they did a really good job of breaking it down to me of, expectations, especially on. We probably have a little bit different expectations on this team, but they laid down pretty much the ground rules, what needs to be done if you really want to be successful. And I still remember that conversation. Weatherman told me, he was like, "There's gonna be a lot of nights you're on date night where you get that call and you're sitting at the dinner table." He's like, "You're just gonna have to explain it to your wife in very nice terms that, hey, I'm gonna have to do this, especially if I want to make money. This is just what I'm gonna have to do."
Yeah.
Hey, it's so funny, thinking back to before I actually knew what y'all did at Milano, how many times Weatherman got up. I mean, he'd get up 3-4 times a meal, when
Yeah.
I was serving y'all, so
Uh-huh.
now I know.
Yeah.
What is
now you
what
know.
is what is Steven's cutoff? I feel like Steven just don't have a cutoff. He's always going.
Hey,
No cutoff.
No.
doesn't matter if he's half a bottle.
No cutoff time
He's
or
answering
day.
the phone.
Yeah, he's
I'll
he's
answer your phone if you with me and you don't answer.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, rain, sleet, snow, or shine, weatherman is always
On time.
On time.
Always on time.
He is on time. If the phone's ringing, if
He's
it does not
springing.
matter, he's springing. That's right. He's going after it. So there is no cutoff time for him. I think sometimes I guess really the most, cutoff time or peace of mind or whatever is like when we actually leave the state. We try. I mean, there's still things though that have to be taken care of, no matter what. What state you're in, you
Absolutely.
still have to take care of business. But I think and we haven't been anywhere in a year. So
Yeah. Well, I know you always have your little book. How have you always been where you're stuck on a schedule, like where you're always been? Because
Yeah.
I know you doing hair before and stuff like that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
probably always had a packed schedule. So have you always been like that?
always, but back when I did hair, it was before, it was a long time ago, so we didn't have cell phones and little calendars in your phone and all that stuff. So you had to put it on paper, have your little notebook, and that's where you had all your people. And so I had a set schedule from day one of, when I was going to go into work. I knew what time I was getting off. If someone called me about if I was going to get off at, say, 7 o'clock that night, and I had somebody call me and say, hey, is there any way, please, would you give me a haircut and a color? Yeah, come on. I
Yeah.
never could say no, really,
No.
But it's, again, though, I've always been self-employed, so, it's kind of like,
If I want to make money,
being in that business, you got to be there to make the money.
yeah,
know.
absolutely.
Hayden couldn't do it for me.
Well, you got to cut in the color.
you-
They wouldn't do what they wanted.
Physically, you
Let
have
me
to be there
fade
behind
you
the
up.
chair. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I've always had a set schedule, and I've always had my little book, and I still have my little book.
Yeah.
And I write everything down. But it's also really good when you do run up against something. Say that you write everything down in your book, and then say 2 months later,
Yeah.
somebody says something or something happens, and you need to kind of refresh and look back. If I know the month, I can just look back and I can tell
Reference
you
it.
exactly what day and what time. So it's helpful to do
Yeah.
that. It's
Absolutely.
really helpful.
Especially
And-
backtracking too.
Yes, and it helps me to remember.
Yeah.
Write it down,
See, and
see it, remember it.
I'm still this guy, but I always think, I'll remember that appointment on Tuesday. And then, you know what?
And then Tuesday comes.
Tuesday, 10 o'clock, I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we're waiting on you. I'm like, I'm sorry, caught some traffic. I'll be there in a second. Get my stuff run out of the office. But no, that's really, I missed an appointment on one Saturday, and that's when I knew I had to get on a schedule and start putting stuff in the CRM and keeping up with my calendar on there, because I have a really bad guilty conscience. So whenever that stuff happens, one, I look at it as, there's possible money I just lost, and two, there's people I really let down. So, that don't sit well with me. So that's kind of when I knew I had to step it up and, get on track.
Right. Well, that's good reasoning for sure.
Yeah.
Does anyone in our audience have a question or a comment they'd like to make?
Stevie Z, you look
Mr.
like you got a
Zavisa,
question.
you look like you
No,
got
I don't have any
like you have a
questions.
comment.
I mean, I agree with what Drew said about that, about having to write stuff down, because I'm like that too. I remember that. Yeah, that's important. I remember that.
Yeah,
But,
all intentions.
yeah. But from where I came from beforehand, I had a schedule book always. That was, so it's not hard for me
Yeah.
to do that, you know, because I had to be there at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. I had to be there somewhere else from 11:15 to 12:15, you know, so. But yeah, it's not, it's not for the people that can think, yeah, we'll just have a little laid-back schedule. Oh, I can do this, can do that, because you're really on everybody else's schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really are. You
Coach
really
Bird
are.
says a healthy work body needs at least one day off a week. Do you feel like that applies to real estate?
I think that applies to anything.
Yeah.
Any profession. And I agree with Coach Bird on that. I agree that everybody needs a day to, yes, decompress, a day just to relax, you know. But
However, that doesn't happen often.
but you might intend, you know, and I've intended on doing that, you know, taking a day and just doing nothing. But if the phone rings,
Hey.
What are you gonna do?
and
Not answer it?
then no, I answer. I mean,
You
I
got
just
to.
answer it. I never just don't answer my phone.
Yeah.
Me either.
So, but I agree with Coach Bird. I think you do everybody needs a day in any profession. They need a day of just doing you
Absolutely.
or being with the family or
Yeah.
whatever. But I think you just have to get creative with your schedule and your family time, and you do what you can do, and you make the most of it when you're there, and you know, try to.
You gotta do that and celebrate and have times with your loved ones.
That's
And
right.
That's the reason why we're doing this business anyway, to make money and
That's right.
to have good times with our loved ones, our new babies. And
Yeah. So you make the most out of the time that you have with them, you know, and I think that's what counts. So
Absolutely.
that's my take on it.
Couldn't agree more.
All right. Well, are we about out of time?
I think we are. We've been going for 22 minutes. That flew
Oh,
by.
wow.
Oh.
Long time.
Thank y'all for tuning in. If you're just now seeing this or you're seeing it late, do us a favor. Please like and share. We greatly appreciate it. But thank you, everybody, that got on. Y'all are awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys. And again, like and share. And we will see you next Wednesday, same place, same time for Real Estate 101.
Y'all have a great rest of y'all's week.